On this episode of New York Originals, we visit a classic luncheonette that harkens back to a time when all fast food wasn't corporate. Next, it's off to Staten Island for some of the best German food in all of the 5 boroughs. And don't write off bookstores in New York City just yet. We visit one that has bucked the trend by being one of the only of its kind in the world. All this and more right now on New York Originals. New Yorkers know their city is no heartless metropolis. That this town is the ultimate small town, made up of a patchwork of neighborhoods, each with its own personality and flavor. A city where people still shop at the corner mom and pop store, not just for convenience, but loyalty and quality. But like the rest of America, chain stores have invaded New York City, threatening to homogenize it. Still, many mom and pops hold on, even thrive. I'm Jamie McDonald. Join me as we celebrate small businesses that make New York so unique. These New York Originals. The Corner Luncheonette. Very few of them remain today. But luckily for us, on the Upper East Side, there's one that still exists, virtually untouched by the decades, and ready to serve you an all-American meal. This is the Lexington Candy Shop. They were once as indispensable to New Yorkers as the corner bodega or street cart. The humble luncheonette, where many a breakfast and lunch were eaten by hardworking New Yorkers of every stripe. A place anyone could grab a quick meal or maybe a little conversation.
You can come in here, you sit down, we'll talk politics, we'll talk sports. We try to avoid religion. That can be a little testy. People feel comfortable here. People have no problem saying, you know what, I left the thing for UPS to leave a package with you, I'll pick it up later. I mean, a lot of times people come in and you see them coming and you can just start their food or the drink.
Little has changed here over the decades. Its vintage enamel sign looks almost too nostalgic to be authentic, but it is. And most of the interior has not been updated since 1948, but rather carefully kept up and maintained. There are wooden booths, old glass cabinets, and of course a classic lunch counter, complete with stainless steel stools and a soda fountain. Men dressed in classic soda jerk uniforms work the fountain, making meals and sweet drinks with utensils and ingredients that are just as authentic. Vintage fixtures and decor are not the only visual treats in this place. One cannot help noticing John's enormous collection of Coca-Cola bottles and collectibles.
A lot of times it's people I don't even know. And they'll walk in and say, you know, I've been walking past your store for years, and I went to Vietnam, and I got you a Coke bottle, and they'll bring it in, and I put it on display for them. You can't do that at Starbucks. You can't do that at Dunkin' Donuts. You can only do it at a place, at a neighborhood place like this.
Lexington Candy Shop was first opened in 1925 by John's grandfather, Soterios Phyllis, a Greek immigrant. His son Peter soon joined the business, running it for several years. Then in 1980, John came in, and he's been here ever since. Lexington Candy Shop's name might be a little confusing to some. Actually, very little candy is sold here.
When it was started, half the store was devoted to the candy making, chocolate making process. But my grandfather decided to switch it over to what you see today as a luncheonette. And people are sometimes confused by it, especially when they go on the internet. The internet doesn't really account for our changing into a luncheonette.
But once there, customers find a menu heavy on classic American fare.
We have burgers, we got fries, we have chicken salad, tuna fish, grilled cheese, a great grilled cheese, roast beef. We've added a Greek salad, we added a Caesar salad, we added a veggie burger. We've adjusted a little bit, but haven't gone really out of our niche.
One thing for sure that is their niche: classic soda fountain drinks, done the old-fashioned way. Another thing you're really well known for is your lemonade.
Correct.
Why is that?
Well, because when you order your lemonade, you're going to watch us make it. We're going to squeeze the lemon for you right in front of you. We're going to put the sugar in. If you want it a little sweeter, we'll make it a little sweeter. It's fresh. It's not coming out of a can, it's not coming out of a bottle.
And their Coca-Cola is even more classic than the stuff sold in stores.
It's fresher. It also doesn't have the overwhelmingly soda feel. It's a little milder. The company is not always happy with that. They would prefer it that we pressed a button and out it came.
Lexington Candy Shop's nostalgia has not been lost on photographers and movie makers. Some 36 magazine advertisements and commercials have been shot here. Movies, too, including The Nanny Diaries starring Scarlett Johansson. 3 Days of the Condor starring Robert Redford also used the luncheonette as a backdrop. And you can forgive John for it being his personal favorite. Now, did I hear correctly that there was a special cameo in 3 Days of the Condor?
Yes, I'm there. If you could see me on the big screen, and you hear me on all the things in the background yelling "chicken plate," and it was a nice claim to fame.
Lexington Candy Shop also hosts special events for us mere mortals. Parties have included wedding rehearsals, book signings, and of course, birthday parties.
This is not the easiest way to make a living, but there's a sense of pride, there's a sense of history, and you want to continue something like this. You don't want to just let it disappear. Lexington Candy Store is open regular business hours. Their private parties can host up to 65 people. For more information, check out their website.